and off our chest here. From a team building perspective, forgive the glasses too. I wear contacts, so if I need to read something, I have to put on my cheaters in order to do so. So, just a few team building notes that we can go over as I saw a little firestorm of comments going on Facebook. Just wanted to allay some of those fears and let you know that we are making some serious progress that it's likely you've never made before in your network marketing career. So I want to address that first. I said, you know, the traditional way of network marketing, I think most of us have found, just doesn't work. Okay? Now, you may be a great recruiter, you may be a superstar salesperson, and you may be able to put, you know, 50 people on your team just by yourself. That's wonderful. But it's unlikely that the 50 people that you put under you will have the same effect. Right? So you now have 50 people on your team, but they don't have the same skill you have. They don't have the same personal power with people that you have. So it's going to be difficult for them to reach that same level, which is why so many people join. Their eyes get real big, they see dollar signs, they like the business, they like maybe the product and or service, but it's just not going to work because they don't have the skill to recruit, they don't have the personal power to reach people, and they can't really sell either, or they don't like any of those things. So now you're left with a problem. How do I get these people motivated? And that's your struggle from then on in network marketing, is I brought all these people, how do I get them to duplicate? You don't. It doesn't work. It's not going to work that way. Okay? Very few people, that's why the numbers, let me back up, that's why the numbers of network marketing success are so low. Less than 2% of people ever have any kind of tangible success in the network marketing industry. Now we're trying to do something a little bit different so we can change that. And we didn't invent this. It's not a new, novel idea. It's been around for a while. Yet mastering the concept takes some reconditioning of your mind, because you're conditioned to think of network marketing works one way. I recruit my 3 people, I teach my 3 people how to recruit, and so on. Well, that may not work, and you've probably proven it in previous businesses that you've been in. And write down 100 names, and attend the hotel meetings, and go to the Super Saturdays, and attend all the events, and so on. Now, the events are important, okay? So if you can ever get to an event, go to an event, because you'll come away with it much better than when you got there. I can assure you of that. So the events do have a point and a purpose. The other things, the making a list, the recruiting, the cold calling, the 3-way calls, the hotel meetings, honestly, those things aren't nearly as effective as what we can put in place with a team build. So let's get to the team build. We've already discussed that the traditional way just doesn't work, and you know it. Deep down, you know it. Even though you may want to recruit for yourself, it's just a matter of restructuring your thinking. You know, reprogramming your mind to understand that there's a different way, right? I kind of had to do this myself. I was probably 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight, okay? And my thinking about how I ate and what I ate was based on the Standard American Diet, which the acronym is SAD, right? SAD, Standard American Diet. And when I changed my thinking, excuse me, about what it is that I put into my body and how I put it in and when, I dropped down to about 219 pounds, which was about a 43-pound loss. Okay? And that happened over a course of 5 weeks last summer. And I've been able to keep it off. I'm just saying, all I had to do is I had to reprogram my mind to think a little bit differently. Right? We all have to do the same thing. Okay? We're thinking now of a team build. A team means together everyone achieves more. Alright? That's the whole philosophy. In our team build, our mantra is all for one and one for all. It doesn't say some for all and all for some. It says all. And that's the only way to make this thing work, is if we're all contributing. Excuse me again. Let me tell you where that starts. It starts at the very beginning when you're inviting people. Now, you may, when I go through some of this stuff, you may be sitting there thinking, that's not what was told to me, or it wasn't shown to me that way. I understand. I empathize with your situation. However, you're still in a group with a team build with almost 200 people in it. Okay? Don't be too sad. All right? Don't be too sad that it wasn't told to you that you had to do some work. You do. Okay? And if some of the details were missed or lost in translation, we apologize from the top down, because it's our fault for not instructing everyone else how to make this come about and how to initiate those conversations. Okay? Now, we can't be there for every conversation. All we can do is offer the information and hope it gets disseminated in the proper fashion. If it doesn't, I apologize, but it's supposed to. Okay? So, basically what we want to have happen is this. Then I'm going to look at my notes so I don't miss anything. Let's talk about the benefits of the team build first. So, right now we have hundreds of people in this team build, right? And we are all working together to help build others' organizations, right? So if I bring somebody in and I tell them there's hundreds of people working together to help you build your team, what that recipient hears is this. Join us and we'll do it for you. And many of you may have heard it that way. It's not what was said, but you may have heard it that way, because that's what people will tend to hear, is what they want to hear. Okay? So, those people come on board, they sit there, they do nothing but have high expectations if they don't hear it properly. So our first goal is to have people hear what they need to hear in the appropriate fashion. The other thing that will happen is these people will quickly be asking, where's my 3 people, right? And that is not together everyone achieves more. That is the I mentality. Okay? We're not working in the I mentality. If you want the I mentality, go back to the traditional way of network marketing and see how that worked for you before. This is a new mentality. Change your thinking, change your income. Okay? Change your thinking, change your income. The new way of thinking is team. We're thinking of the team only. Okay. So here's what they maybe should be hearing. If you join us to benefit from the efforts of everyone else, you need to be willing to commit to introducing 3 people to the team yourself. Okay? Unless everyone makes that commitment to no less than 3 people to the team build, then what we have is MLM welfare. Okay? We have some people working really hard while others are doing nothing and still reaping the benefits. That is not the point of what we're doing here. Okay? Everybody needs to take responsibility for themselves, regardless of what they were told at the beginning. If you can't or don't want to take responsibility for yourself and helping the team, then let us know, and we will release you from the team. You can go back and put in your own effort to building your own team on your own. Okay? But I think, John D. Rockefeller said it best. I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. That's the end of that story. And what if it becomes 100, 150? What if it becomes 500? What if it becomes 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 people's efforts? Wouldn't you rather have 1% of 10,000 people's effort than 100% of your own? Absolutely. It's the whole point. It's why we're doing this. We already have people on this team build after 16 days making more money than they ever made in network marketing before. If you want to know who they are, let me know, and I will point you in their direction, and they'll be happy to tell you that they are succeeding like they've never succeeded before in any company because of this format. So, understand that you do have some responsibility in this whole thing. You're responsible for helping the team grow. You're not responsible for watching the team's progress. We'll all do that. It's necessary for us all to contribute in order for this to work in the fashion that it needs to work in. And we will have some enhancements, and we're 16 days old, for goodness sake. 16 days old. Okay? We have a lot of work to do still. And a lot of us work full-time doing other things. But we're still trying to maintain this. If you feel like you want to volunteer and help out and make some things happen a little quicker, feel free to contact us. We'll accept your help. Absolutely. And there are many people doing that, by the way, and we appreciate all of those people that are helping out. But this is the way that it's going to work. This is the way that it's going to be successful. I can't imagine now, after starting this, doing it any other way. And let me tell you some of the numbers. We've got 154 people, and that's an old number. That's a few days ago. We have 154 people in the opportunity that we're in, and we have almost 200 people in the team build in a matter of 16 days. Okay? Now, can you imagine what those numbers would look like if everybody took their responsibility that they're supposed to take and invited a few people to join the team build? After all, it's free, right? SecureYourSpot.biz. Take them to SecureYourSpot.biz, have them join the team build, explain to them the team build concept. What are the benefits of the team build? You know, it's free, you know. There's learning involved. There's training. There's leadership. There's promotions. There are all these things for free that are available. You know, as we move forward, we'll start to offer some better promotions. You know, for X number of people brought into the team build, maybe we'll give away an iPad to people. You know, we never know what's going to happen. These are some ideas that are rolling around, but we have to get it out of the station. Okay? We have to get this whole thing out of the station. I don't know if you guys are familiar with trains or how familiar you are, but think about an old train that you know from back in the early 1900s. You know, as that thing is a steam engine, as it starts to pump, you know, it starts to pump, it goes slow, and it's spinning its wheels because the load that it's carrying is so great. It's trying to get out of the station. It's trying to get some traction. You know, it's trying to create some friction on those rails. It's metal against metal, and it's pumping and pumping and pumping, and they get the thing up to speed a little bit, and finally it starts to heat up a little bit and create some friction on the rails with the metal against metal, and it starts to pull out of the station, right? And as it's pulling out of the station, what's happening? It's getting more and more traction, right? And it's starting to pull those 100-ton cars out with it out of the station. And off it goes, and slowly at first, but eventually it builds up speed. You know, the engine is not running any more efficiently, but it picks up speed because it needed to get out of the station. It needed to build some momentum as it got out of the station. The engine's still running at the same speed. It's still doing the same things, but it's having a much greater effect on how far and fast they're going, because it's more efficient, because they've created momentum. We're creating momentum here, folks. And any time that you create momentum or a buzz, there's always going to be some problems. There's always going to be some issues. There's always going to be some questions. There's always going to be people looking for an excuse, right? And if you're looking for an excuse, you always find one. Remember that. If you're looking for an excuse, you will always find one. Stop looking for an excuse. My dad used to say you can have excuses or you can have results. You can't have both. Okay? So let's drop the excuse piece of it and let's look for the results. Okay? Let's look for the results and ways that we can help. Okay? Now, we're going to have some clear-cut, delineated steps for us to show new prospects to do, okay? But again, a couple of people can't make all this happen. It's necessary for us to engage others that are in the group, such as you guys, for some of that help, okay? We need somebody to do a new orientation, okay? Which I asked for a couple of days ago, some volunteers, somebody to volunteer to do a new member orientation. First to the team build, and then to Wake Up Now, which is our current opportunity. So we can put that into place starting this coming Monday. So anyone, and we can also record that session. We can make the first recording, and then as we streamline it, or the person who's doing it gets better, we can substitute that new one for the old one as it gets better. And then people can go, you can direct your folks, your new members, to that training session, which shouldn't be any more than 30 minutes long, on what the team build is all about, what the expectation is, what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to be recruiting, what links you're supposed to be using to recruit, and so on. Okay? Now, those enhancements are coming, and Jared's working on a website for us that'll have a bunch of different things in it for us to use to show people what a team build is all about and how ours works. Okay? So the enhancements are coming, but we need a little bit of latitude from the group. Okay? That means that give us a little bit of time. Okay? We're trying to make this thing work for everyone, not just for us, but for everyone. Okay? And that's a big job. And we've recruited and enlisted a few other people to help us out, and they're doing a fabulous job of helping us out, by the way. So, you know, we couldn't do it without everyone's help, and we're not going to be able to do it without everyone's help. But give us some latitude. Allow us a little bit of time to get these things in place. Again, not only do some of us have full-time gigs where we go out to work, but we're also coming home and spending hours upon hours trying to make this successful for everyone. So, we all understand the 80-20 rule and how that works. If you're not familiar with it, the 80-20 rule is the Pareto principle. You can look that up. He was an Italian guy. Anyway, the Pareto principle works like this. It says that 20% of the people usually do 80% of the work. That's understood. It's going to be that's going to happen in business, your football team, whatever it is that you're into, the Pareto principle usually applies. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. If you are expecting a great deal of difference, I would probably reel that expectation in a little bit. Okay? We want everyone to participate in the team build, and that's understood. But what's also understood is that everyone's not going to participate. Okay? They're not going to. They may not participate to your level. They may not participate at my level. They may not participate at all. Okay? What we want to do is disseminate the message that participation is required. Okay? Once we've done that, we are going to have some things in place going forward that will allow us to monitor people's participation. Okay? And as we go forward, we will be able to let people know by virtue of an email or a phone call or whatever it might be, you know, looks like you haven't participated yet this month. You know, is there something that we can do to help you? You understood getting in that part of your commitment of being in the team build was your participation. Let us know what we can do to help you. Something like that would probably go out to the person who's not participating. Okay? And then if we got a response back and we were able to help them, that's great. If we didn't get a response back and there was still a lack of participation, then the following month we would let them know that it's probably best if we part ways, because it doesn't seem like you're able to live up to your part of the commitment of being involved in a team build, which is to support the team. And at that point we would probably eliminate that position and compress the people up within the team build tree. Okay? Forget about the Wake Up Now piece. Forget about whatever opportunity we're in. We're talking right now about the team build. Okay? And that's what's most important. We build a team build tree, a global downline that we have in place for a long period of time. And then as we diversify our incomes and we start to explore other opportunities, right now it's Wake Up Now. Down the road it may be something else and something else and something else. but it's important for us to diversify our income. It's extremely important that we do that. And as we do that, we'll now have a global downline in place, and as we join, we'll all make a lot of money. And I'm sorry, you know, we probably all will make a lot of money, especially the people that have joined the team build early, like you guys that are in right now. But at least we're hoping that everyone makes some money. Okay, that's the whole goal here, is to put people in a position where they finally make money in the network marketing industry instead of spend money in the network marketing industry. Okay, that seems to be, if you've been in it in the traditional fashion, that seems to be the basis of the network marketing industry, is to get a bunch of people to spend some money. Well, that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be get a bunch of people to make some money. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. The only way to do that with any great deal of success is to do a team build like this. And we know we have some enhancements that we talked about last week about our Pay It Forward program, and we'll update you on how that's coming. Okay? But understand that we have to deliver the message from the very beginning and set the expectation where it needs to be in order for anyone to follow through with it. Okay? And we're going to have that set out for you in the very near future within that training class, which will happen every Monday. Not sure exactly what time yet. And we'll record it, at which point people will be able to access it at their leisure. Okay? But I would really encourage people to get on the live portion so that they can ask some questions after the walkthrough. Okay? So that's where we are right now. I know we've taken a few minutes. I don't want to go on and on, but I want to make sure that you know that we know that we have to address some things, and we're looking for a little bit of empathy, or I'm sorry, we have some empathy for you, and you need to give us a little bit of latitude as we work through it. All right? Thanks very much. We'll talk later. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable.